All right, all right, all right. Well, the camera doesn't seem to want to work today. I mean, it's a cheapy camera, so it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. What is up, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TT? How are my TT friends doing over there in TT land? And I don't get on much anymore, but today today we are going to go over website. I'm going to build a website. I think I got a, let me see here. Let me see here. You know what? We'll probably just build one from scratch. How about that? Let's making sure I'm on all platforms. Let's see. Yep. All right. Streaming on all. Let me do this so I can monitor my live over here on TikTok. See, I don't know. Whenever I do these, it always puts me in a weird category. Um, but yeah, just in case anybody's wondering, we're in the process of, well, it's going to be, right now, our main website is biztrack.net, but it's soon going to be changing to BizSynq.com. So it is what it is. I know all you haters are going to be like, oh my God, you changed your name again and again. So that's all right. That's all right. So I'm going to put this up here, that up there. That way I can monitor those. Facebook, nobody ever shows up on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and you're saying something, please let me know. Okay. Where is I'm gonna do this. So all right, so let me look here. What do we do? Should probably turn some music on. Trying to find my dark cello music. I usually play that. It's kind of nice and soothing, especially at night if you're dark ambient. Let's see what this is all about. Now we'll check that out. Check that out for a little bit. But yeah, what is up? All right, we are going to go into this. We're gonna see what we can do. Well, it's not bad. It's kind of, you see how like the transition just transitions hard into a section, right? So these are great, but we're going to. Oh, I forgot all about that one, the spa. Yeah, I was doing a spa one yesterday. Um, but we're gonna take this one. We're gonna amp it up a little bit. So just so you can basically take the cookie cutter templates that you have, right? And you can amp it up a little bit. So we're going to mm, we're gonna add some cool styling for the, what do we call it, transparent. Oh, let me see. I got to look through all my code here. I need to get better at organizing it. It is. Let's try this one. See what happens. So I don't know if it's going to really, it's transparent, so it's not going to really make a difference. So if we were to take the background color, let's see. Yeah, I didn't do it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Backdrop blur. Okay, so it just blurs it. Z index 99. I think I have the wrong one. So for instance, this is row, so I think I make a header. Or, let's see. Put that there, put that there, and we'll see. Let's see. No, it doesn't work. See, all this other stuff's supposed to be blurred out when it goes in there. So it's not working. So I have to fix that code. I thought it would work. That'd be cool, but maybe not. So back to normal. Because yeah, it's supposed to be like when you hover over home, all these are going to be blurred out. So we can fix that with something else. Homeschooling for his glory. Welcome. How are we doing? What are you using for your website? Let me build you a website. Let me see if this one works. Nope, still doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work on navigation bars. If I do this, because we're missing the row, I think. You're supposed to put the row there. Row or section. If you put the section, it still didn't work. So it means it needs some work. But all right. Gotta put the buy now button in here. So I usually put the HTML. I just go to the very bottom and then I'll add, HTML down here. Maybe like right here. And I'll add HTML code, JavaScript. I'll add that in there. And then I always take out this. And then you can say, schedule roofing call now. Schedule roofing call now. Okay, so now once that's there, which I kind of like to put it. We'll see. We'll see if this works. Floating button. All right. Floating button. Floating button. All right. Let's see. See if it works there. Boom, right there. So now, wherever they go, they've got a floating button. And this is going to be linked to the calendar. Right. So we'll just put the calendar URL right here and then save it. And then ultimately it's just going to go right to your booking calendar. That way they can, get more leads. But so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have that for all of them. I'll just, we can add, this color to this. And we can make this so it's not so wide. You know what I mean? That way we can take this, put this up here, and we'll just go 0. That way it doesn't look like it's such a big mess down here. But now I have that, so I can always add to it if I need to. That way it looks a little bit more even throughout. So there's that. We're going to... So that's kind of cool. Let's see, where's it at? We can add a smooth counter right here. So this is what we're doing. No, I don't think that'll be a good place for that one, so I'm not going to put that there. Actually, we're just going to do this. Now, what I want to do is let us assist you with your roof repair and replacement. What could I do? Oh, my kids are being loud. So if you hear them screaming, it's okay. I wonder if I should do this one right here. We'll do gradient glow. So for instance, what we'll do is I'm going to add these as a row, full border. We're going to go white. And then I'm going to go 25. That'll be good. Same thing with this one. Full border. White. And we'll go 25. And the same thing with this one. And I'll show you kind of a gradient glow. And I mean, it worked last night, so we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. I need to start filming like all my late night rendezvous with code because I spend a lot of time at night. It's kind of when I have the most quiet time and I can really just focus on what I need to focus on. But for instance, let's see. So this is going to be the child. right? And this is the parent. They call these child. I don't know why they call it child, parent, right? But I didn't make it up. So, but this is going to be custom gradient, or maybe it's, I forgot what it's called. Container gradient, custom gradient color. Okay. So we'll do this. Go to advanced, type in custom gradient color. We'll do the same thing for those. So again, we'll see if this works. It worked last night for me. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna see if it works. And then this right here would be the container gradient effect. So then we could type in container gradient effect, right? And now all I have to do is put this code in, and it should work. I don't know how, if you guys do this, if you guys just put the code up here like this or not, but let's see. Oh my lord. I don't think it worked. Mm-mm. Let's see. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. So I got to figure out why it didn't work. Um, maybe I'm supposed to, let's see. Maybe I'm supposed to label this instead. Let's see. So this would be the parent. And these would be the children. Glow gradient child. So I think that's the problem here. Probably put the wrong. Nope. See, there it is. See, boom. So now, okay, there we go. Sometimes you just gotta mess with it. Sometimes you just gotta mess with it. But oh, hopefully you guys could hear me. All right, yeah. Tell me if you can hear me. And check, check, 1, 2. Check, 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 check. All right, so now let's see. We can always change the colors of it, right? You can change the different colors of it if you want. So cool. So now let's check it out. I think that's pretty freaking exciting, man. I don't know why. This stuff excites me. I hope it excites you. It's just like it excites me. Look at that. Whoa. That is sick. Now, granted, we need to change the color so it's not purple. But I mean, hey, it's so enticing that people probably not even gonna care about the color. They're gonna be like, dude, that is amazing. How did you do that? But just little things like that can, make your website pop a little bit more. So there's that. There's that. So let's see. We should change the colors of it. What should we change the colors to? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and plop it in ChatGPT. And then it's going to give me the C1, C2, C3, right? I mean, you probably didn't need it. I didn't need to do all of it, but it's going to change these for me. So we need F. And what I'm going to do is look at the rest of the code to see Z index 1, opacity, inset. Yep. C1, C2. So really, the only thing we need to really change is this right here. Right? This is really the only thing we need to change right here. See? And now it's a red color. Pretty exciting, huh? I know you all excited. You guys are so excited. I get it. I know. Pretty awesome, huh? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to I want a smooth transition, okay? I want a smooth transition. I don't want it to look all boxy. So how do we do a smooth transition is what I want to do. So let's say we want to do this. And I think I already have. Let me see. Where is my notepad? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna copy the different, just so you guys can see. Okay, so I got all those. So now is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and replace it with the URL. Okay. Take the other picture, replace the URL. Okay. Same thing. Replace the URL. So this actually needs to be gone. We'll see if it works. Oh, you see that? Just effed it all up. Yep. Well, that's because we didn't do this section, right? We didn't put that in there. So what you need to do is you need to take this, go right here, grab the section selector, come back in here, you put your section in. Make sure you don't have to put it anywhere else. All right, cool. Now, we'll look at it. All right, so it's still pretty effed up. Pretty effed up. Okay, so we're going to come back in here, the root, replace image with URL3, background animation, background. It might be conflicting with the code that we already have in here. Yeah, I bet that's why. So we're going to do this just to see, just to make sure. Okay, so I'll figure out why. This is really what I want to do is I want photos right here transitioning back and forth, right? Having a bunch of different photos. So what I'm going to do is, hi, Christy, how are you doing? But we got this down here to where, the red color works well, right, for this roofing company. So they can get on that. Get on. Then I can do that for up here too, where it glows. But ultimately, I want photos in here that are cycling. So I need to figure out the code on why it's doing that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is CSS selector, right? Section. So I'm just looking at the code to see if something I did wrong, but it doesn't look like it. I think it might just be broken. So I got to figure out the code and figure out why it's not working. So what we'll do is this. I'm going to add a cool hover effect on buttons. So we're going to go boom. I'm going to take this, copy that, and then now wherever a button is, right? So for instance, like this button, I just copy that. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, you can. Right here. See, and now it pops up. So I can do that with any area. So for instance, if I want this button to pop up, right? See that? Pretty freaking sweet, huh? So now I can do that with all of these buttons, right? You can even do it with sections, right? So if I wanted this whole thing right here, right? Let me see if I can get it. Like if I wanted that whole thing right there to raise up, right? I can just put that in there and it'll raise up. See that? So we can do that for all of them. Right? So I just definitely want to make sure I have all the buttons doing it because I like the buttons. I'm going to round the buttons off actually a little bit more. But yeah, now let's look at it. Let's look at it. Save it. Now we'll look at it. Boom. Got the glow effect in here. The buttons coming up. I mean, I'll probably take this off of these just because, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Is that pretty cool or no? But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. What else have I done? Let me see if I can do this hero section right here. Let me look through the code. That'd be too much for doing that. That'd be too much. Typewriter effect would be kind of cool. I haven't figured this code out yet, so I'm still working on that. But I want to do a typewriting effect. So, for instance, word one. And for instance, this would be this. And then oh, I think I did it wrong. It's supposed to be word one. But again, I don't know. I got it to work at one point, and then he just quit working. I don't know if I messed something up or what. So that's where that is. Someday I get it working. What are you guys screaming for? Oh, that wouldn't be it. What would it be? It would be no. Or this be? Oh, this is duh. This is JavaScript. I put it in the wrong spot. I think I just deleted something I wasn't supposed to. Yeah. Basically, this side, let's just say this one, we'll put it. Wait, do I have one down here? I do. Okay. We'll get rid of global variables because we don't need it. I feel like I'm missing a section in that hero section, so maybe I need to figure that out because it's supposed to transition right into a bunch of different photos. So but this, so I'll just have to go back through. Yeah, I'll just delete it. I wonder what this would do. I haven't messed with this yet. If we do this, I wonder what happened. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Whoa, whoa. You see that? Sick. I might do that instead. Do that one. Oh my god, that's awesome. So we'll get rid of this. Right. So now if I want them to do, to the right, to the left, hover, we'll do to the left. Right? See that? That is freaking sweet.
free to fill your feet with impossible chocolate, free to be everything you want, and then some. That's how it feels to have quantum fiber in your neck. Your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. And look at the capability services applications are. Spice is 10 out of 10. Hi, my name is Khadija, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy coconut chicken that splits the red. It gets me excited, and when I crunch it, that personality sauce, it kills it. If the sandwich is at the cilantro line takes it to 200. It makes me want to buy it to all my friends and family. Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for 1 at a time. Don't get paid for the compliment.
My kids are getting ridiculous. So if you hear me screaming and yelling, you know why. Okay, well, Oscar Harvey, welcome. How we doing? So we'll look at this website and we'll see kind of where it's at. We're just adding different CSS, HTML into this website. So, we've got. Oh, what happened? I wonder if I deleted it. Yeah, or it's not working because this is what we just did. All right, put these in here. Right? Before it was just plain like this. Didn't have anything. So now we can add the hover effects to really kind of let it pop a little bit more. Now, sometimes, when you put CSS in or HTML, it could, have an effect on others that you put in here. So, like, for instance, these aren't popping up like they were before. So, there's that. But we have this sticky where they can click the Book Now button, right? And then the Book Now button will send them to the calendar. But ultimately, it's just a way to kind of see how it's kind of creating this glow gradient effect over it. And then we've got this right here just to give our website a little bit more oomph. And that's all done with CSS and HTML. So there you have it. There's a little bit of CSS, HTML. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys want a website, you need a website, then hit me up. Right? We can build. The sky's the limit. I should say sky's not the limit because it's almost like there is no limit. But if it can be done, it can be done, is my saying, right? So, Kate. Is that Katie? Is that you? Your name is Katie and Brian. But yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm streaming to all these platforms, guys. So if you guys, I'm gonna start doing a YouTube channel. I was told that I was an idiot for not doing stuff like this on YouTube, so I'm gonna start doing YouTube. Again, I hate doing lives. I hate creating content. You know what I mean? Like I just don't like it. You know. So I'm trying to get better. You know, I started doing Instagram. And I started getting, I've been getting some really good feedback on Instagram, but I just dislike creating content. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. So there's that. But I'm forcing myself to, you know what I mean? I'm forcing myself um, to do these things, right? You know, and that's where discipline comes in. Creating discipline to do the things that you don't like to do or don't want to do. You know, it's definitely not easy, but what do you expect, right? I haven't listened to Andy Frisella today. Have you guys? You know, one thing I could talk about too. I don't remember who it was, but you know, they're talking about the number one reason why you're stuck and how to break through that, right? And they're talking about most of us are stuck not because we're not working hard, right? But because we're working on the wrong things. And the thing is, like, I used to be in the same place, right? Grinding, hustling, burning hours instead of building systems. You know what I mean? Like, I would spend 16 hours in the kitchen, right? I would spend, time and time again. I just thought it was, working yourself to the bone harder and harder, right? But then, I started learning. I'm in coaching with Dan Martel. I'm in coaching um, with the SAS Academy, right? And the thing is, it's pretty interesting, right? Because I'm learning what high level entrepreneurs already know, right? And you don't rise to your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, is what Dan says. And that's pretty impactful, right? um, and it's that shift that I started to change. It really started to change my mindset, right? And that's really what I want to share to you today. Is like, the thing is you know you're waiting for permission, right? And that's the problem that a lot of us face is we sit here and wait for permission, right? You wait to do anything until somebody says, hey, good job, or hey, I'm proud of you, or hey, go do this or go do that. When I learned a long time ago, you need to take upon yourself and you need to make shit happen, right? So no one's coming to save you, so you need to learn to get out there and you need to learn to get it. And it's you know and another thing too, if you're still doing $10 tasks, $10 an hour tasks, then you're never going to build $1 million business. And again, I'm nowhere close to that. You know what I mean? I'm still learning how to leverage all these different things within my business and within my life. But the hard truth is, if you don't fix this, you'll still be in the same place a year from now, right? So if you don't start implementing the things that you need to implement, right, then you're going to be stuck. And that's nobody's fault but yourself, right? And the moment that I realized, like, a lot of this stuff, a lot of everything's changed for me, right? Instead of working harder, I use automations, right? Instead of doing everything myself, I built systems that do it for me, right? Now, the only thing I need to do is create a GPT that'll help create the CSS. That's what I'm working on right now. So that way it'll help me create. All I got to do is just type in, hey, I want to, create CSS for a hover effect. And then it'll do that, right? I mean, there's stuff already out there, but I really want to do it myself, right? And that's the thing, the three-step action plan, right? He talks about is, start, stop being busy and start being effective, right? Does this task move the needle? If not, automate or delegate it, right? That's one of the steps. Um, and then focus on systems, right? Not just hard work. Automate follow-ups, marketing, pipelines, right? The less you touch, the more you scale. And that's a huge that sounds just ridiculous, honestly, if you think about it. I mean, that does. But the thing is like you start to see it in practice, and you'll start to understand as you start to implement these in your life and in your business. But the biggest thing that I found is surrounding yourself with winners, right? Because if you're not in rooms where people are pushing you, then you're in the wrong rooms, right? So you have to get around people that are playing at a high level, people that aren't going to hold your hand and be like, oh, you're doing so good today, it's okay. No, you need people that are going to be like, hey, you need to level up, or you need to quit playing small, or you need to go out there and you need to get it, right? Those are the people that you want in your corner, because otherwise you're going to be stuck the same place you are a year from now, and you don't want that, right? I know that we're all destined for greatness, right? God's put us on this earth to be creators, to be creative, right? So I believe that all of us can do that. But how are you going to do that? What are you going to do, right? You can't fly with eagles when you flock with chickens, right? And far too many people, and I've said this before, far too many people want to sit on the sidelines expecting the same results as everybody else, but without putting in the work. You got people online right now that are, talking about, oh, I made a deal $50,000 this month, or whatever the case may be. Flaunting all, but you don't know how hard it was for them to get there to that point. And 9 times out of 10, most of the time it's fake. So then we have this comparative thing where we're comparing our lives to everybody else's lives, and we're like, wow, I'm not there, and I want to be there, so I'm going to go buy a course that way I can be there. And I'm not saying you can't get there by buying a course. I'm not dogging on courses. I'm just saying that social media has, hurt. I would say social media has hurt a lot of people. Desperate people make desperate decisions, right? So make sure you surround yourself with the people that are winners, right? And always find those rooms, right? Continue to look for those rooms, and that's where networking comes in. You have to be able to, talk to people. 2 years ago, I would have never thought that I'd be on social media. I never thought that I'd be networking with people and talking to other business owners, right? Because that's just not me. I'm not. I'm more of like a, reserved, type of guy who doesn't really need to say anything, right? I don't need to say much. And the thing is like when I started to learn that communication is the biggest tool you can have as a business owner, I started to figure out how I could level up my communication, right? Um, and that's the thing. If you're serious about leveling up, right, you need to learn. Going back to the systems, right, you need to learn how to start with systems, automations, and executions, right? So I don't even know if any of y'all in here, but I don't care. If anything, I do it more for myself, right? Because it helps me, when I learn these things, right? It helps me, you know, by regurgitating it, it helps me, it helps it sink in a little bit better. You know what I mean? You know, and one thing, that's really cool is when you get in those rooms, you can call out excuses, limiting beliefs, and like time wasting habits, right? That keep entrepreneurs stuck. Right? You need to be able to, have the hard truth delivered to you in a no BS style, right? And that's what it's all about. Because if you can't handle that, it's like they say, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. You know what I mean? But people get fired up and ready to take action, when you start holding people accountable, you start to create that community and that culture. And that's the hard part. What is going on with this? Yes, I know. But that's where motivation comes in, or not motivation, discipline comes in, right? Because you're not going to feel like doing a lot of this stuff, right? You're not going to feel like doing a lot of this. And that's where discipline comes in. Do you think I wanted to jump on here and get on a damn live and be like, hey guys, look at what I'm doing? No, but I'm hoping that I can provide value somehow to some way to somebody somehow, right? And that's what it's about. So, you know, allergies are killing me. Gotta find a Kleenex. But ain't nobody in here listening anyway, so it's all good. You know what I mean? Number one reason why you're stuck is because of that reason. You don't listen, you know? And most people, they're just following the same button in front of them without listening, without breaking free, right? But yeah, when you get in those rooms, you want to be inspired by people that call you out, right? Whether it's your excuses, whether it's your limiting beliefs, right? Because that's going to push people, to execute and show them how um, to implement that stuff in their lives to become better, right? And the thing is, like, most people are stuck. And let's be real, it's not because you're not capable. It's because you're stuck in the same habits, running the same circle, and it's not executing. You're not executing on the right things, right? And that's where it starts to really hit home, because I've been there and I know what it's like to be grinding, thinking, if I just work harder, things will change. If I just put more hours in, things will change. Well, let me tell you something. Hard work doesn't make you successful, right? People who win don't just work harder; they think bigger, right? They operate on a higher level and they leverage systems to automate processes. And that's exactly what we're doing here, right? We're taking a system and we're leveraging a system and replicating a system, right? And that's how you're going to win, right? And that's where people get stuck is they mistake movement for progress, right? They're busy all day but nothing actually changes, right? They keep doing everything themselves instead of building the right systems, automations, right? Email marketing, those types of things, right? um, Invoicing by hand. The list goes on. I could think of all kinds of different things that business owners are doing manually, what could be done uh, automatically with the right system, right? And that's the thing is like, you know, they keep doing everything themselves instead of building the right systems or investing in the right tools that are going to help their business, right? And they let fear and self doubt and whatever it may be hold them back from taking the next step. And a lot of people they're like, oh, I don't want to spend money, or I don't have any money to spend. And it's like, yeah, well, I bet you'll go to Starbucks every single day before you hit the road or before you actually get to the office, right? But yeah, you're not going to spend a few dollars that's going to help really drastically improve your business and your operations. You know what I mean? Like that's where it really gets me. Nobody has any money, but yet when you really think about it, they do. They're just spending it on the wrong things, right? And that's why most entrepreneurs are stuck, right? Because and the thing is, I don't care, how much you want success. Like, if your actions don't align with your vision, then you're gonna continually stay exactly where you're at, right? So if you don't see that, you know what, I should probably cut these spendings out and then invest into a system that's going to help me build my business, right, with the proper website and automations and tools and marketing that's going to help me, make more money in the end, then you're missing the, like you're lost, right? and you're doing $10 an hour tasks instead of building a $10,000 a month system, right? Because all the times that you're automate or that you're manually doing tasks like payments or payroll or invoicing, right? All of that can be done for you, right? And if you're spending your whole day answering phones and emails and chasing leads and posting content manually, then you're running a high paying job, right? Not really a business, because you could either A, pay somebody to do it, or B, find a system that does it for you. And that's what this system does. It does all of it. But the thing is like the shift that changed a lot of stuff for me, I guess I'd say, because I do think that you know you're a product of your environment, right? And I'm a veteran, and we were trained to execute at a high level, and I guess that's where it kind of the rubber meets the road, because and that's what I struggled with so much when I got out, was because like so many people are not on the same level, right? We don't sit around and hope for things to get better. We make moves, right? And the thing is like when I started my business, I was still doing everything, the hard way. I still, those times I still am, and the thing is you start to see how easy it is to win, right? Because of the lack of motivation that people have, honestly. If you were to just stick with something for 1 year and you continually grind, like you continually do that thing, you stick with it for 1 year, right? Let's just say digital marketing. You stick with that for 1 or 2 years. I would say 70% of those people that started with you are going to drop off because they're not committed. They don't see the results they want. They don't see the money rolling in like it should, right? They're not getting, because everybody's doing the same thing. They're just like sheep. They're just following the same button in front of them, right? That's all they're doing. They're just wandering around, right? They're doing the same thing. And they're not learning that, social media is kind of, you have to kind of figure out your own path, right? Because what works for me may not work for you, and the algorithm's changing so often that you can't just sit there and everybody's got the secret sauce. They're like, you just follow this secret sauce or follow this metric and it's going to work for you. And a lot of people do that, and it doesn't work for them, or they're doing something wrong, or they don't do it correctly. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's so much to it. And that's why you kind of have to really find what works for you. Learn the principles, techniques, those types of things, but then apply them how you feel you need to apply them. And I think that's going to get you further than you thought. You know what I mean? But your ideal client is different than my ideal client. So therefore, what works for you may not work for me. What works for me isn't going to work for you. And how your hooks and your triggers and all the different things that your CTAs that you use to try to hook your clients or your prospects in, and then lead them down that hole, right? It's going to be different, right? It's going to be different for everybody, and that's my opinion. So don't take it for granted and be like, oh well, he said, you know what I mean? But the real shift happens. The thing is, I don't even know what I was trying to say. I'm trying to get back to what I was saying. So I'm right now am trying to work on this code. Where did it go? So this is a code I'm trying to work on. Boom, 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 boom. Trying to. I don't know. And then we'll input it in there once I think it's ready. Um, but yeah, yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? And one thing that I did too, when I first, again, I've been in the online space for over a year, right? I've seen a lot of people come and go, and one thing that I found out is like motivation is BS, right? And the thing, that you need to do, like what you want to do is you want to push people to stop waiting on motivation, right? Stop waiting on motivation because then you're never going to get anywhere, right? You're going to be stuck in the same spot if you're just sitting here waiting to get motivated or waiting until you feel like it. And that's what separates the successful from the non-successful, honestly, because they understand that motivation is fleeting, right? Motivation comes here and there. When you are motivated, that's like deep work. That's like, okay, cool, I'm motivated, so I'm going to get deeper and I'm going to focus harder. But most of the time, motivation is going to come and go. And that's the thing, that's the thing that most people, they're just like, I just don't feel like doing it, or I don't like it, or I'm not motivated, or I'm tired. And that's the thing. Like, you need to realize that motivation is the lie. And most people, they think to feel motivated before they can take action. They wait until, they're inspired or until the conditions are perfect. This is going back to what we were saying earlier, you know, until, they're in the right mindset. And that's exactly why they're stuck, right? Winners don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. And that's the hard part that a lot of people don't understand and uh, don't want to. It's like a reality check. It's almost like we don't want that to be true because we'd rather be stuck where we're at and we'd rather be lazy. And then the thing is they execute when they don't feel like it. That's what winners do. Winners push forward even when it's hard. When no one is clapping for them, when no one believes in them and no one's giving them a pat on the back saying, "Good job, buddy. You're doing a great job." No, they keep going. They keep pushing, right? They don't need accolades, right? Because they have a goal, they have a vision, right? Because if you only work for when you're motivated, you're never going to be consistent. And without consistency, you're never going to win. So I don't need anybody's accolades. I don't need anybody's "good job, buddy." You know, cool. I'll take it, but that's not what motivates me, right? What motivates me is my dream, my goal, my vision for my future. And that's what you guys should have as well, right? And why motivation doesn't work, right? I hear it all the time. I just need to get motivated and I'm waiting in the right time to start, or I can't do that because if I do that, then this and this is going to happen. Let me tell you something. Like, if you wait until you feel ready, you're already losing. You've already lost, right? Because people who succeed don't feel like doing it every day, but they do it anyway, right? Do you think that elite athletes wake up every morning excited to train? No, but they show up. There's a book called it's by Tim Grover. I forgot what it's called. Winning, I think it is. And it goes into talking about those stuff, right? But the thing is like the people who succeed don't feel like doing it every day, right? And that's where discipline comes in. Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent, right? When you build habits, routines, and systems that force you to execute no matter what, that's when the breakthrough happens. And that's what people don't understand. It's hard for people to understand, right? And it's not because we're stupid, it's just because I think technology has made us to where we're just lazy, right? And if you want to win, then you need to install systems that are going to help force you to take action, whether you feel like it or not. And the thing that I did was set goals, right? You got to set the standard. You got to set goals. Like, winners don't say, I hope it gets done. No, they say this will get done, right? Your day doesn't end until your goals. One thing you can do is just create three goals. Create three goals for the day, right? Make your bed, work out, eat lunch, eat breakfast, something simple, right? And then you make sure that those are done and that your day is not finished until those three goals are done, right? And success is just the result of following through on your standards. That's all it is, right? You feel like your feelings don't matter when, you know, that's what you have to do. You have to be able to remove the emotion. And that's the hard part for people, removing the emotion, right? Because, your feelings don't matter when it comes to execution, right? Your feelings don't matter. But and it doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're stressed. Your feelings, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if the task needs to be done, then you have to freaking do it. Period. Right. And that's like what I tell my kids. Right. I'm like, look, you have chores to do. I don't care if you're tired, sick. Unless you're dying or bleeding, you're getting them done. I mean, obviously, if they're sick, yeah, they're not gonna do their chores. But anyway, you know what I mean. And that's just the way it is, right? You know, and relying on willpower is a losing strategy because the highest level entrepreneurs, they remove decision making by setting up systems, automations, and routines that are going to help them get those tasks done, right? And that's where you just need to stop waiting and start executing. Like, if you're still waiting for motivation, then you're going to be the same exact place that you were last year, right? It's no BS, no fluff. Like, you need to be able to be where the heavy hitters are that are going to call you out, and that's the standard, right? That is the standard. Let's see. My God, I've been on here for an hour and 12 minutes. Let's go. Nobody's even. Let's see. I've got one, two, three, four people that came through my Instagram. 54 total views over here on TikTok, and 0 views on Facebook. So I think I'm killing it, guys. I am speaking to the ether, and it is working out great. I love it. I love it. But here's the thing, guys. The thing is that people chase happiness because it feels good, right? It's comfortable and it's safe. But the thing is comfort is the enemy of growth. Like, if you only look toward the happy moments, you're gonna miss the real power hidden in the darkness. And that's kind of a hard concept to really understand. The pain, the struggle, and the life knocks down, the life that's knocked you down, right? It's like what David Goggins says, like, you got to embrace the darkness and you have to dig into it. You have to learn from it, and you have to somehow draw strength from it, because the truth is the darkness teaches you who you really are, right? And then you start to become the light. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Being an entrepreneur is probably the hardest thing that I've ever done. And there are days, there are no days off, no guarantees. And it's literally like the weight of everything falls on you, right? You pretty much work 24/7, building, solving, pushing. But you know what? People still, to this day, well, I guess that doesn't matter. I won't even say that because it doesn't matter. But no matter how hard it gets, it's still, I still get to be here, right? To get to be there for my kids. The moments I do have with them, and they mean everything to me, right? And I'm doing this not just for them, but mainly for myself, knowing that I can build something great and I can put in my effort and time and energy into something to build something that's going to ultimately help people down the road, right? And I still get to be here with my kids. I'm working from home. I get to work, and that's where I fell in love with software, because I was working kitchen after kitchen after kitchen, working 16, hours a day, and every single day. And I was never home, right? I was never home, because at first, when I started like before I started all this, I worked in the funeral home and I was never home, right? I was going to school for mortuary science, worked in the funeral home, and then I transitioned into the kitchen and got a degree in culinary arts at the Cordon Bleu, and then worked in kitchens. So for years, it's all I did was just grind it out in kitchens, trying to, become better and better every day so I could become the top, trying to reach the ladder, right? And it's competitive in the kitchen, right? You try to get into a sous chef position or even a chef position. But ultimately, I, the whole big C happened, right? COVID. that happened, and that kind of put a lot of things in perspective for me because I started a business and I didn't do so well, and I ended up shutting down, right, because of COVID. And then I sat at home trying to figure out what I was supposed to do with my life, and saw that people were making money online. I didn't believe it at first. I kind of blew it off to the wayside, but I started looking into it more. And the more I looked into it, the more I went, wow, you can make money. So what did I do? I started to figure out how I could build, start a t-shirt shop. So I started a t-shirt shop, right? Called Messiah Crew. You can go to it, messiahcrew.com. Go buy a shirt. That was the first thing that I did, right? I didn't know anything about websites. I didn't know anything. Like, I just liked creating t-shirts, like designs on Canva, right? Don't come at me with, oh my god, Canva. It's not like Photoshop or Illustrator. I don't care. Right? That's what I learned how to use. And that's what I use, and it works quite well. But the thing is that I started to, I'll even just show it to you real quick. Oh, did I spell it wrong? So here's my t-shirt shop, right? Boom. Right, we got all kinds of different t-shirts, but ultimately, this is what I started. This is what I first started with. It was a t-shirt shop. Oh, and you can't see it because maybe you can. But yeah, these are faith-based t-shirts. That's what I started. I started creating designs, got a Shopify store, got it up and running, started like learning how to build the website. Um, and the code, getting into the code inside the website was fascinating to me. I was like, what is all this? How do you do this and this? And I started to really, I started to really hone in on the coding side of things, and I just fell in love with it. And then, I found an all-in-one system, which is what we have here, right? That's what BizSync is, right? Is an all-in-one software for your business, and I just I love it, right? There's just so many cool things that you can do with it, um, that it just blew me away, right? And a lot of people say, "Oh, there's limitations, or you can't do this or that," but no, it's there's so much you can do, right? And that's where I started to really get into it. And I started learning the CSS and the HTML because I was mainly tired of people going, "Well, it's got limitations. You can't do this, you can't do that with it." And I said, well, watch me. I'm going to show you. See, all this is CSS, right? Custom CSS. You put this code in, you apply it to these sections, and it's going to, well, hopefully, it's supposed to do what you want it to do, right? Just like this gradient color right here that's on the back, right? It glows. So, oh, thank you for all the likes. I'm not sure if anybody's commenting. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So if I miss your comments, I apologize. But this is where it just gets incredible, right? Because you're able to do these things. I built this website here. I've got a spa one that I could show you. Let me see. Do I still have it? I thought I did. Let me see. Let me see if I still have it. Websites, real estate. No, 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 no. But here is the website that I did specifically for roofing. Right, it's pretty neat. It's a good little website right here. But this is what I was trying to do to the last one. Where let me See how it kind of transitions? That's what I wanted to do with the last one. But for whatever reason, the code wasn't working, so I gotta figure it out. But this is for a roofing company. Landing pages for roofing companies, right? So this is what they're gonna get. Not what they're gonna get, but this is what they're gonna see, right? Why our software is a game changer for your business. Discover why why we're becoming the top, choice for blah blah blah. But you know, we've got buttons or cards that kind of fly up. I love doing this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I love it. It's so fun. But that's what I'm telling you guys. Like, if there's a will, there's a way, right? Because I didn't think that this stuff was possible until I started researching it and started messing around with it. It was literally a week ago. I didn't know how to do this, right? I didn't know how to do any of this, right? So that's the thing, guys. Is like, there's a will, there's a way, and that's how I started in this field. You know what I mean? In the online space, because everybody said, oh, you can make money, you can do this, but you got to buy a course. Go buy a course. Well, I bought a course. I just didn't feel like it was for me to like sit there and try to resell a course. Like I learned the skills and the principles and everything, which I'm grateful for because I would never know what any of this meant in the online world, right? And how to navigate the online world as much as I do now. So, but my course was Kingdom Coaching. It's a faith based, approach to digital marketing. But ultimately, that taught me all the ins and outs of digital marketing. What hooks are, CTAs, funnels, stand store, beacons, all the different stores, right? Because that's really what I'd started doing first. Was I was, building um, stand stores and beacons for people, or System IO too, right? I was building that stuff for people, and people, I was getting so many people that wanted me to build it out for them that I decided to create it as a business. So I became, the go-to guy for creating stand store beacons and System IOs, right? And that's what I did for a little while. I did that for quite a while, and then found Go High Level. Found Go High Level, and then this is my business partner Jeff. But I teamed up with him, and we created BizSynq, and this is what we're building now. Right, we're building um, a business that is going to be scalable and successful. There's no doubt about it. Everything takes time and patience, but we're putting in the work, and we're putting in the systems and procedures that are in place so that way it can be a business that ultimately grows, or but it's fun. You know what I mean? It's probably the hardest thing that I've ever done, but ultimately, I found the coding side of things so that way I could do things like this, right? And again, I didn't know any of this stuff. I don't know how to read code. I've just been learning the last few couple weeks actually on how to do all this stuff, right? So I'm saying if there's a will, there's a way, and you can't limit yourself. By no means limit yourself. I'm you know uh, I'm pretty sharp, right? I'm pretty knowledgeable. I'm pretty smart. You know what I mean? But I hate saying it. It's like, well, if I can do it, you can do it. Because it's true. If I can do it, then you can do it. If other people can do it, then I can do it. And that's what you need to realize. And I've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. So, guys, all I want to say is if there's a will, there's a way, right? And get in the rooms that are going to help you grow, right? Be around the people that are going to help you grow, right? You can't fly with eagles when you flock with chickens, right? Don't be that person that sits on the sidelines expecting the same results as everybody else, but without putting in the work, right? You still have to work. You still have to put in the work in order to make things happen, right? Your life's not going to get better by just sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. You still have to put in the work and the time and the effort to change the things in your life that are going to ultimately help you in your life. So I'm just going to leave you with that. I'm going to get off and we'll go from there. Otherwise, love you guys and peace out.